Okay, hi. So I wanted to say a little bit about why I decided to go from a low carb diet to a high carb diet. And not only was it because I wasn't really improving very much at all, but I also started reading some other thoughts from other people. I was reading Sugar Blues by William Dufty, and I was struck by something on page 86, that there was a Japanese doctor called Sakurazawa, and he suggested that people with diabetes should eat rice, brown rice, and beans, and some seeds, pumpkin seeds, etc. And I thought, well, that's completely opposite to what they recommend for us here. Usually they recommend a low glycemic diet, and brown rice would certainly not be in that, but they said that this doctor was begging people to tell people with diabetes to eat brown rice and whole foods, stuff like that. So that made me think, like, what does he know that we don't know here? Because obviously he's seen this people improved on that kind of diet. And then I started reading, of course, the most important book, Nutrition and Physical Degeneration, by Weston A, which is just such an amazing book. And because it's quite thick, it took me a long time. I hesitated to read it, and I also was actually afraid that it was going to be racist, because of the images struck me as racist at first glance, but it's actually not racist. Majority not, at least. So basically, I've been told that the people that were healthy were the primitive people, and that they were healthy because they ate low carb, that they were eating mostly animal meat and fats and some vegetables, and that was it. Well, that's not true. I actually found out that I've been lied to. That's at least not what this work suggests. And Weston A. Price, he actually went and saw what people did eat firsthand, and I do trust that his research is reliable. And basically it's only the Eskimos ate that way, but even they ate some seeds and nuts and stuff like that. But most other primitive people ate very high carb, it seemed. Potatoes and meat and milk and stuff like that. And for example, there's people who live in Schweiz, the Swiss people, which is like the first chapter here. It just goes on about how they eat 6 days a week. They actually eat rye bread and no meat at all, and a lot of raw milk. And then they eat meat 1 day a week. So once a week they ate meat, and they had superior health and immunity against caries and everything. So that was kind of shocking to find this out, and I wish I'd read the book earlier. I can recommend this book to absolutely anyone. So basically I realized that I have to do something, but then the question is, how do you go from realizing that to actually going from low carb to high carb? And that's where 180degreehealth.com comes in. Matt Stone there, he's really got a lot of experience seeing a lot of people who are going from low carb to high carb now. And he's really been a great help, and he gives personal advice if you're lucky. And you can always follow all the stuff that he's got there. All of his eBooks are absolutely amazing. I can recommend buying them and reading them. It really helps square things out. You kind of fully understand now why brown rice would help people with diabetes. It's totally explained in 180 Degree Health. So that's been a real help for me, and I've been on high carb now for 3 weeks, and I'm absolutely never going back to low carb. Another book that I could recommend, of course, is Nourishing Traditions by Sally Fallons, and it's actually a cookbook, but it's got some good information in it as well. But it's really great. It's a really good help for me now. It's got gluten-free recipes and all kinds of basic, old traditional recipes, and it's very, very good. It's got a lot of honey and stuff like that also in it, but you can just kind of ignore that stuff. So yeah, hopefully I will be able to report further progress as things go along. Thanks, bye.